What's up guys, welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick and I'm very excited for tonight's review. It's a very special beer, one I've been looking forward to reviewing for a while. And well, I guess the reason I'm reviewing it today is because 1 year ago today this beer was bottled, and that date is 11/5/12 and it is 11/5/13 today. So I thought that was a pretty good occasion to open up this beer. And as you already know from clicking on the video, this is the one and only Mother of All Storms from the Pelican Pub and Brewery in Pacific City, Oregon. It right now is the #2 rated English barley wine on BeerAdvocate, only to be surpassed by Sukaba, which is a much more widely accessible barrel-aged barley wine when it comes out annually. So, and it's fantastic, obviously. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this compares. This is, this is a once-a-year release at the brewery, and it's really one of those things that's just hard to get. I actually don't know how the whole process works for that, but yeah, it's just an extremely hard beer to get. Let's just leave it at that. So basically this is, I'll just read you the back so you can know what's up. This says, "There are many storms out there, all of them perfect in their own way, but there is only one mother of all storms, and it only happens in Pacific City, Oregon. Based on Stormwatcher's Winterfest, our English-style barley wine, Mother of All Storms spent many months aging in Kentucky bourbon barrels. Now at its peak, Mother of All Storms delivers deep flavors of toasted malt, bourbon, and oak. The finish rewards with whispers of vanilla, toffee, and caramel, best enjoyed with gusts exceeding 60 miles per hour." So it is a barrel-aged English-style barley wine. It is 14% alcohol, and I'm not sure what bourbon barrels they aged it in. They said Kentucky. I did read online, maybe it's Evan Williams, maybe it's Heaven Hill. And for how long is anybody's guess. If anybody knows, you can let me know. So with all that being said, let's get into this highly sought after, highly rated beer. I can't wait, guys. Alright guys, got the Mother of All Storms poured into the glass here. Very excited. As soon as I cracked open the cap a tiny bit, I got this huge smell coming at me. This huge wave of just aromas. So I'm excited already. Anyways, the color on this is really, really dark red. You can see a tiny bit of light through it, but it just looks like a really dark, like burgundy color to it. It probably looks black on camera, but I see some like small light carbonation, not much. I didn't expect there to be much. And the head on it, obviously not much of that either. But look at the lacing already. And the alcohol legs. It's just a gorgeous looking beer. The head is like this really like mocha, like dirty looking kind of brown head. It almost looks like it has a greenish tint to it. It's really quite interesting to look at. But enough about that, guys. Let's get ahead into the aroma here. Can't wait. Oh man, so nice. Oh yeah, I'm happy. Big bourbon notes. I mean, let's be honest, it's 14%, it's bourbon barrel aged, it's a huge beer, you can smell some of that. But besides that, I'm getting a ton of caramel, a ton of like dark bourbon soaked kind of fruits like plums, raisins, brown sugar, just like, again, that toffee caramel smell to it. It smells like a really sweet beer. I'm getting some like almond character, like a nuttiness to it as well. It does remind me a bit of a Sukaba type beer for sure. I mean, it just smells absolutely ridiculous and complex, and most of all, delicious. So let's get a sip, guys. Oh my god. Wow, that is unbelievable. Wow, I am speechless. Hold on a minute. Wow, guys, that's unbelievable. I don't know where to begin, honestly. I say right up front, the first thing you're getting is that sweetness, followed up immediately by like this like chocolate, dark fruit, you know, the bourbon, the caramel kind of comes through. In the middle of the mouth, this thing just coats your mouth with all those flavors that you got in the aroma. Just a big like caramel, toffee, chocolate. It really is like bourbon soaked dark fruits though. I don't know how to exactly explain it better than that. I get a lot more chocolate flavor than I got in the aroma. I get some charred oak in the finish now. It's like a dry oakiness, like that woodiness, like that from the bourbon barrel probably. It's like it leaves a tiny bit of bitterness. It's so complex that it just completely changes as you're drinking it, all the way through your mouth, through the finish. Like right now, I'm just left with like this like charred oak kind of flavor with some like sticky sweetness, like residual sweetness, just kind of lingering around. Get another sip. Incredibly drinkable for 14%, guys. This thing is unreal. It drinks. If you like sweet beers, sweet barrel-aged beers, this one is perfect. Like, it drinks like maybe a 10% beer, 9% beer. 14%, no way you'd ever know. Carbonation's super low on this one, and it's a very sticky beer. Like feel it on your lips, like it's sticky. Get a lot of that almond taste, like a nutty taste to it. Along with those dark fruits and the chocolate and like the bourbon soaked raisins or whatever you want to say. But very complex stuff. Very, very good. I just gotta sip this for a few minutes and I'll get back to you guys with my final thoughts and rating. So hang in there. All right, guys. So to wrap up with the mother of all storms, yeah, this beer is, you know, it's in the upper echelon of beers in general. I mean, as far as barrel-aged beers go, it's at the top. It's really complex, really well crafted. You know, it's one of those beers that as soon as you take your first sniff or taste, you just know that it's at the top of its game. There's a lot of elements in this beer that remind you of a barrel-aged imperial stout meets barley wine, and I think that that was true for you know, King Henry, which is my favorite English style barley wine barrel aged I've ever had. That beer is pretty incredible, but there was a lot of stout character to that beer, and infused and melded together with the barley wine, and I think this beer shares a lot of those same characteristics in it. You have the dark fruits, the caramel, and then the chocolate and the roast and like the char from the barrel and the oakiness. Like there's just a lot of flavors playing off of one another in this beer, and it's definitely a sweeter beer. If you like sweet beers, you're gonna love this. That's kind of the first thing you notice. Then there's just an assault of flavors. And it all works. It all works really well. One of the interesting things about this beer in particular is that it has a very, very dry finish to it, even for a sweet, big beer. It leaves you with like a charred oak kind of dry finish, and you're already ready for another sip. Even with the low carbonation, it's very, very drinkable. 14% is barely detectable. And I think a lot of that is in part to aging this for a year. I feel like that probably toned down some of the abrasiveness from the alcohol over the year. I think it aged really well. I never had it fresh because I only had one bottle. So, I mean, I think a year wouldn't hurt it. I think it's awesome now. I'd love to try one fresh, of course. But anyways, guys, this is an exceptional beer. I don't need to go on about it. You can get the idea. It's complex as it can be. This has a 99 score overall on Beer Advocate, and yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with them. I'm not gonna quite go the 100 because I gave King Henry 100. I think King Henry is another level above this, as crazy as that sounds. But this is definitely at the top. Is it better than Tsukaba? I don't know. I'd have to try them side by side again. Personally, right now, having this, I would say yes, I think it's better than Tsukaba. I think it's a little bit more richer, a little bit more complex, and it has a better mouthfeel to it. Tsukaba, I find actually to be a little bit thin for me. I think this one has a little bit better mouthfeel to it. It's a little bit richer. But anyways, so 99 from you guys, from Mother of All Storms, from the Pelican Pub and Brewery. Trade for it. Do what you gotta do to get it. If you like barley wines, do not miss out on this one. Well worth it. A really nice treat. And that's it, guys. Let me know what you think of this beer if you've had it before. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So see you next time, and remember, comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Cheers.